Have you ever noticed? Some people change the atmosphere the moment they enter a room. They're not the most beautiful, not the richest, not the most talkative. Yet people are drawn to them, as if they have an invisible magnet inside. And then there are some people, hardworking, good-hearted, intelligent, but they get lost in the crowd. They're not even noticed. If you've ever been in a situation where you wanted people to understand you, listen to your words carefully, value you, feel your presence, this audiobook is for you. Because the truth is, people are attracted not just by face, not just by money, not just by status. They're attracted by emotions, by energy, by behavior, and by the experience you make them feel. Just think, if you met someone and that person listened to you with complete honesty, looked into your eyes, didn't interrupt you, and made you feel important, wouldn't you be attracted to them? Absolutely yes. This is the secret of being a people magnet. Being a people magnet doesn't mean controlling people, manipulating them, or playing fake games of influence, but becoming a person around whom people feel safe, respected, and understood. But here's a deep problem. In today's world, we all learn to speak, not to listen. We learn to impress, not to connect. We learn to show off, not to be genuine. And that's why relationships become shallow, conversations become superficial, and a person remains alone, even in a crowd. Let me ask you, have you ever gone to a party where you didn't know anyone and you were just pretending to be busy on your phone? Or at the office where you wanted to say something but got scared about what people would think? Or in a relationship where you felt the other person just wasn't understanding you? Understand this. The problem isn't you. You just weren't taught the art that naturally attracts people to you. And that's what we're going to learn in this journey. But first, a small story. There was a boy, very ordinary, not very smart, not very rich, not very impressive. But in college, everyone knew him. Everyone wanted to talk to him. Everyone wanted to spend time with him. Why? Because he made people feel special. When he talked, he was fully present. When someone shared their problem, he truly listened. When someone shared an achievement, he was genuinely happy. And slowly, people were drawn to him. This wasn't magic. This was a skill. And the good news is, this skill can be learned. Your personality isn't permanent. Your social ability isn't decided at birth. Your confidence isn't written in stone. Everything can be changed. In this audiobook, we'll discover: why are people attracted? What's the science of first impressions? Why does a smile work? How does body language speak? Why is listening more powerful than speaking? What's the magic of remembering names? How does emotional intelligence transform relationships? And how can you develop a magnetic personality? But pay attention. This isn't a fake charm guide. This isn't a tricks book. This is a journey of changing from within. Because when you change from within, the outside world changes automatically. Chapter 1. The Psychology of Attraction. Have you ever wondered what exactly some people have that attracts others to them? They're not the most talkative, not the richest, don't wear the flashiest clothes. Yet people want to sit near them, take advice from them, spend time with them. Why? The answer to this question isn't outside. It's hidden inside the human mind. Attraction isn't face, style, or status. Attraction is an emotional experience. People don't like you because of who you are, but because of how they feel with you. This is the first secret. Our brain reads the emotions of the person in front and unconsciously mirrors them. If someone is tense, we also become uncomfortable. If someone is calm and stable, peace descends within us too. This is called emotional mirroring. So if you're insecure inside and constantly thinking, what will people think? Your energy will give that same message. But if you're stable, accepting, and attentive and listening, the other person will feel safe. And humans want to stay where they get safety. There were two colleagues in an office. The first was talented, but always engaged in proving himself. The second spoke less, but listened carefully and valued the other person. After a few months, people started coming to the second more. The reason was clear. The first was making himself important. The second was making others feel important. The human brain seeks three things: safety, respect, and acceptance. If you don't judge, don't interrupt, and validate emotions, you become a safe space. That's where attraction is born. If you want people to be attracted to you, stop asking, "How do I look?" Start asking, "How does the other person feel with me?" This is where your journey begins. Chapter 2: The Science of First Impressions. Imagine you enter a room. The door opens and a few eyes lift toward you. Just a few seconds pass and judgment is made. Someone thought you're confident. Someone considered you nervous. Someone found you interesting. Someone ordinary. You haven't said a single word yet, but the story is already written. This is the science of first impressions. The human brain is built to make quick decisions. One part thinks slowly, analyzes, but the other part responds immediately. It recognizes danger and opportunity. When you meet someone for the first time, before your words, the other person reads your walk, your face, your eyes, and your energy. In 5 to 7 seconds, their brain decides, are you safe or not? Confident or unstable? Worth connecting with or maintaining distance from? Think of an interview situation. 2 candidates equally qualified. The first hesitates while entering, makes less eye contact, looks uncomfortable while sitting. The second comes with steady steps, keeps a light smile, sits straight, speaks in a balanced voice. Even with almost identical answers, the second is chosen. Why? Because the first impression created the story that this person is capable and trustworthy. First impression is formed by the ease of your face, eye contact, body posture, your walk. A light, genuine smile signals safety. Straight and open body shows confidence. Balanced walk shows clarity. And most important, your internal energy. If there's fear inside about what will people think, the body will shrink. If there's clarity inside that you came to connect, the body will open. First impression isn't built by acting. It's built by reflection of internal state. So before entering a room, take a deep breath. Straighten your shoulders. Repeat inside yourself that you came to contribute. When you view every meeting not as performance, but as an opportunity to connect, your presence changes. And where there's safety in presence, that's where attraction is born. Chapter 3: The Power of a Genuine Smile. Just recall, when an unknown person sees you and smiles lightly, what happens inside you? A small comfort descends. A warmth is felt, and the atmosphere suddenly becomes easy. But if that same person looks with a tense face, you immediately become alert. This is the real power of a smile. A smile isn't just a facial movement, it's a social signal. Our brain has been trained for thousands of years to read faces. When it sees a smile, the message is received. The other person is safe, worth connecting with, not a threat. At that very moment, chemicals activate in the brain that create feelings of trust and connection. A genuine smile can change the emotional state of the other person. But here's an important point. Fake smiles don't work. People immediately recognize whether a smile is from the heart or just formal. A genuine smile has sparkle in the eyes, softness in the face, open energy. When a smile comes from inner ease, only then does it leave an impact. Remember a hospital receptionist who smiled at everyone who came. People didn't just come to her for information. They came for emotional relief. Her smile assured them that everything is okay. This is the essence of magnetic personality. You make people feel safe and accepted. Many people think, when I become confident, then I'll smile. The truth is opposite. When you smile, your body signals to the brain that the situation is safe. Slowly, stability starts coming inside too. Smile isn't the result. It's the beginning. If you want people to be drawn to you, start every conversation with a light, genuine smile. First, awaken the feeling inside that you respect the other person. Then smile. This will show not just on your face, but in your energy. And where there's warmth, that's where people stay. Chapter 4. The secret language of body language. You're silent, but still saying a lot. Your shoulders, your eyes, your hands, and your sitting style are constantly sending messages. This is body language. The truth is, people believe your body before your words. Words can be changed, but the body often reveals the truth. Imagine someone says they're confident, but their eyes are down, shoulders slumped, hands shaking. You'll trust their signals, not their words. Our brain reads nonverbal signals very quickly. More important than what you say is how you say it. Magnetic people often appear with open body, shoulders straight, chest slightly open, hands not crossed. This posture sends a message. They're safe and ready to connect. Conversely, when the body is shrunken, arms crossed, or eyes darting around, it signals discomfort. People don't read words, they read signals. Eye contact builds trust. When you look into the other person's eyes in a balanced way, they feel respected. Too little contact shows insecurity. Too much contact shows aggression. Balance is attraction. Similarly, open position of hands builds trust. Hidden hands can create subconscious doubt. Stillness is also important. Unnecessary movements show nervousness, while calm and balanced body signals confidence. Interestingly, the body isn't just the result of emotion. It can change emotion too. If you stand straight, breathe deeply, and adopt an open posture, the mind also slowly starts becoming stable. Body language isn't acting, it's reflection of internal clarity. When there's peace inside, openness shows outside. And when your body gives the message that you're comfortable and respectful, people are naturally attracted to you. Chapter 5. The art of active listening. What kind of people do you like? Those who constantly tell their achievements and stories, or those who truly listen to you? Almost everyone will choose the second option. We're attracted to people who make us feel our voice matters. Yet the irony is, we all want to be heard, but very few truly know how to listen. Often during conversation, the other person is speaking and we're preparing our answer. They're sharing their problem and we're thinking of solutions. They're telling their happiness and we're planning to add our story. We're not listening. We're just waiting for our turn. This is where most people miss creating deep connection. Active listening isn't just hearing words, it's paying attention, understanding emotions, making the other person feel you're fully present. When someone shares their experience, pleasure-related chemicals activate in their brain. If you give them the opportunity to speak without interruption, you're giving them emotional safety. The brain remembers the person in front of whom it feels good. Imagine a young man who complained people don't take him seriously. One day he decided he'll speak less and listen more. He asked questions, listened carefully, didn't interrupt. Within a few days, people started opening up to him. The reason was simple. He gave people space. And giving space is the greatest form of respect. The person who can listen is stable. They don't make noise to hide their insecurity. They stay quiet and try to understand. And where there's understanding, there's trust. If people know you'll truly listen to them, they won't just like you, they'll trust you. This is the real attraction of the art of listening. Chapter 6. Making others feel important. What's the deepest human desire in the world? Money, success, or fame? No. The deepest desire is to feel important. Inside, every person runs a quiet question. Do I matter? Is someone truly seeing me? The person who understands this silent desire reaches straight to the heart. From childhood, we search for acceptance. When we receive appreciation, we bloom. When we're ignored, something shrinks inside. This isn't just an emotional experience, it's a biological response. When someone truly praises us, pleasure systems activate in our brain. Confidence increases, and we're naturally attracted to the person who gave us that feeling. Imagine a quiet student whose teacher said their thinking is deep. One sentence changed their perspective, because for the first time, they felt someone was seeing them. We're all like that student. We just need to be seen and recognized. People distance themselves when they feel ignored. When you cut someone off or stay busy on your phone, you unknowingly send the message that they're not a priority. But when you talk by name, listen carefully, appreciate small efforts, you're saying they're important. This difference creates attraction. Genuine praise is different from flattery. It's specific, honest, and timely. Instead of general words, when you recognize someone's special quality, connection deepens. Making someone feel important isn't making yourself small. It's showing your internal stability. Only the person who trusts themselves can accept others' goodness. If you want people to be drawn to you, give them what they need most: attention, respect, and recognition. When people feel their worth with you, they don't just like you, they trust you. And this is the real secret of magnetic personality. Chapter 7. The psychology of remembering names. In a crowded room, if someone suddenly calls your name, you immediately turn around. Your name isn't just a word, it's your identity. It hides your history, your experience, your existence. When someone remembers your name, you feel they saw and accepted you. This is why remembering names is a powerful tool of magnetic personality. When someone says, "I'm on," "How are you?" or "Rima, you did very well," a light warmth arises inside. The brain registers this as personal attention. The difference between general conversation and conversation using names. Names separates the person from the crowd. It sends a message that they're special to you. Often we forget names because we don't listen at all. The other person tells their name, and our attention is on what we should say next. Name reaches the ears, but doesn't register in the brain. What doesn't get attention doesn't stick. So the first step in remembering names is truly listening. When someone tells their name, repeat it, strengthens memory, and makes them feel you paid attention. Connect the name to an image or characteristic. If necessary, write it down after meeting. Using names in conversation in a balanced way deepens connection. Name isn't just identity, it's also respect. When someone says your name correctly, you feel special. This principle works in leadership too. The person who knows others' names reduces distance and increases trust. Saying someone's name is like saying, "I see you." If you ever forget a name, honestly ask. This is better than pretending. Honesty builds trust. When you say someone's name, you separate them from the crowd. These small steps start deep connection. And where there's connection, attraction is naturally born. Chapter 8. Emotional intelligence and human connection. Imagine you're talking to someone. Words are ordinary. Conversation is regular. But inside, a signal comes that everything isn't okay. The other person says they're fine, yet their voice is tired, face slightly stiff, eyes lacking sparkle. This is the moment where emotional intelligence begins. Magnetic personality doesn't just hear words, it reads emotions. Emotional intelligence means recognizing your own emotions, understanding others' emotions, giving balanced response according to situation. This develops not from books, but from awareness. Relationships run less on logic and more on emotion. People often forget what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. There were two managers in a company. First focused on results and was strict. Second had average skills, but understood the team's emotions. When tension increased, he asked if everything is okay. When mistakes happened, he first understood, then corrected. Over time, his team became stronger and more loyal. The reason was simple. Emotional understanding builds lasting relationships. Emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness. If you don't recognize your own emotions, how will you understand others? Part of this process: pausing before reacting, breathing in moments of anger, thinking with empathy. When you ask, if I were in their place, how would I feel? Perspective changes. Small facial signals, voice fluctuations, and word choices tell a lot. If someone is tired inside, even while smiling, it can be felt. When you softly ask, "Are you really okay?" often the heart opens. People go where they feel emotionally safe. Emotional strength isn't in noise, it's in peace. The person who understands themselves and accepts others connects at a deep level. And when connection is deep, attraction is naturally born. Chapter 9. Confidence versus ego. Have you ever met someone who seemed very confident at first, but within a few minutes their presence felt heavy? They kept listing their achievements, kept praising themselves, kept correcting others. First seemed impressive, then uncomfortable. This is the thin line where confidence ends and ego begins. Confidence is quiet. It says, "I am enough." It's not in a hurry to prove itself. It knows its identity, so it doesn't feel the need to make others look small. Its presence is stable. Its voice is balanced. Its behavior is natural. Ego, in contrast, makes noise. It compares, competes, and constantly wants attention. Often ego is born from inner insecurity. When there's emptiness inside, a person tries to look big outside. People feel this insecurity, even if words speak of confidence. At a conference, there were two speakers. One came on stage and recited a list of achievements. The other kept sharing stories of mistakes and struggles. The audience's connection was deeper with the second. The reason was clear. Confidence has humility, while ego creates distance. True confidence can listen, admit mistakes, learn from criticism. It doesn't fear other success because it knows its own worth. Ego turns every conversation toward itself and avoids admitting mistakes. This behavior ultimately distances people. If you want to develop confidence, first accept yourself. Preparation and practice bring stability. Compare less. Recognize your small wins. When you enter a room and don't need to prove yourself, that's when real attraction is created. Confidence comes from within and is lasting. Ego is external coating that breaks quickly. The choice is always in your hands. Chapter 10. Overcoming social fear. Have you ever felt you wanted to say something, but your voice wasn't cooperating? You enter a room and suddenly feel everyone's eyes are on you. Questions arise in mind. What if I said something wrong? What if people judged? This is social fear. This isn't just your experience. Even people you consider confident have gone through this fear. The difference is they took steps despite the fear. Our brain wants safety. In ancient times, being rejected from the group was dangerous. So even today, the brain sees rejection as a threat. Standing in a crowd, an alarm rings inside and the body responds. Heart beats fast, palms sweat, voice trembles. But this isn't real danger, it's speculation. We exaggerate our mistakes, while people stay busy in their own world. The real cause of social fear isn't people's judgment. It's fear of your own created perfect image breaking. We want everyone to see us as capable and impressive. But connection is built not from perfection, but from authenticity. When you accept that you're human and mistakes are possible, only then does pressure decrease. The path to breaking fear starts with small steps. Start conversation with one person. Ask one question in a meeting. Say hello to a stranger. Shift attention from yourself to the other person. When focus is on how do I look, fear increases. When focus is on how can I contribute, fear decreases. Keep body straight, breathe deeply, make eye contact. Body's balance signals to mind that the situation is safe. Remember, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Rejection isn't failure, it's selection. When you repeatedly go past fear, the brain learns it's safe. And when fear weakens, your personality starts blooming. Chapter 11. The Art of Magnetic Conversations. With some people, conversation flows easily. You don't even notice time passing. While with some people, even a few minutes feel heavy. The difference is less in words and more in energy. Attractive conversation isn't a game of any special topic. It's the result of attention, curiosity, and balance. Often conversation breaks because we try to impress. We want to make our experiences look big. We add our story in the middle of the other person's. Or we're so busy thinking of answers that we forget to listen. When conversation becomes competition, connection ends. But when conversation becomes exploration, depth is created. First rule of attractive conversation: curiosity. Don't try to be interesting. Be interested. When you genuinely ask how the other person came into some work or what they learned from an experience, they start opening up. Openness gives birth to connection. People are attracted to those who show genuine interest in them. Balance is equally necessary. Only asking questions makes conversation an interrogation. Only speaking makes a monologue. The right way: other person speaks, you listen carefully, then add your small experience, then invite them back. This is energy exchange, like ping pong. Adding depth changes conversation. Instead of surface questions, when you ask what they're excited about these days or what was their biggest recent learning, dialogue becomes meaningful. Voice tone, pauses, and light humor also make an impact. Stable voice gives trust. Balanced pause gives weight to words. The essence of attractive conversation: make the other person feel they're being heard and understood. Display of knowledge can impress, but the gift of attention wins hearts. When you truly pay attention, people return to you. Chapter 12. The Transformative Power of Appreciation. Remember when someone genuinely said, "You did great work today," or "Your words really made me think"? Perhaps a smile came to your face and a light wave of confidence rose inside. Just a few words, but the impact was deep. This is the real power of appreciation. We all want to be praised. You were stingy in giving. Sometimes there's fear the other person will become arrogant. Sometimes insecurity that praising them makes us look small. But the truth is, the person who can recognize others' goodness is truly confident. Insecure person compares. Secure person appreciates. Understanding the difference between genuine praise and flattery is necessary. Flattery is born from selfishness. Praise from honesty. When you clearly recognize someone's quality, the other person feels you truly paid attention. Specific and timely words leave more impact than general ones. A young man working in a team stayed quiet. His manager said he speaks less, but when he speaks clearly and precisely. Just saying this much was enough. The young man started seeing himself differently. Praise doesn't just give happiness, it awakens capability. The human brain connects with positive recognition. When you genuinely appreciate someone, their self-respect strengthens and they naturally open up to you. But praise should never become a tool of control. It's a gift, not a weapon. Noticing small things is also important. Not every achievement is big, but every effort matters. When you acknowledge others' small efforts too, connection deepens. Ultimately, people don't remember you for how great you are, but for making them feel great with you. This is the true power of appreciation. Chapter 13. The Art of Constructive Feedback. Has it ever happened that someone said something with intention to correct you, but the words were so harsh you closed up inside? Their purpose was perhaps right, but the method was wrong. And at that very moment, connection decreased. This is the power of criticism. One sentence can strengthen relationships or crack them. People avoid criticism because it directly touches self-respect. When someone says you did wrong, the brain often hears you are wrong. As a result, we become defensive. We argue, give explanations, or get hurt inside. Instead of improvement, distance is created. Understanding the difference between criticism and correction is necessary. Criticism is focused on the person, correction on behavior. If you say you always make mistakes, that's attack. If you say this part could be a bit clearer, that's cooperation. As words change, energy changes. Public negative comment can become insult, so saying sensitive things privately is better. First, appreciate the effort, then give suggestions. Keep a sense of partnership instead of accusation. When you say we can make this better, the other person feels safe. Magnetic personality also knows how to take criticism. If someone gives a suggestion, don't immediately go into defense. Pause, listen, and ask how you can improve. This shows maturity. Not every comment needs a reaction. Sometimes staying quiet also saves relationships. Ultimately, people want to stay with the person who doesn't bring them down but lifts them up. Being right isn't enough. Being sensitive is necessary. When words are spoken with respect and empathy, they don't hurt but connect. This is the secret of turning criticism into art. Chapter 14. The Magic of Empathy. Has someone ever said, "No one understands me"? This sentence isn't just a complaint, it's a signal of a deep need. We all want not just to be heard, but to be understood. The feeling of being understood reduces loneliness and erases distance between hearts. The person who can truly understand can create true connection. Empathy doesn't mean just nodding or staying quiet. It means placing yourself in the other person's place for a few moments. When you ask in your mind, if I were in their situation, how would I feel? That's when real understanding begins. This very question gives depth to relationships. Often we start giving solutions quickly. We feel if the other person is sad, we should fix them immediately. But not every emotion needs fixing. Sometimes just saying, "I can understand this is difficult" is enough. People want presence more than advice. There's also a difference between empathy and pity. Pity creates distance. Empathy brings equality. Pity has a sense of looking down from above. Empathy has a sense of standing together. When you validate someone's emotion, you're not diminishing them. You're accepting them. This acceptance is the foundation of connection. Next time when someone shares their problem, before immediately giving solutions, recognize their emotion. Say, "I can understand this must have been difficult." Then ask how you can help. This simple practice changes conversation. People remember the person who stood with them in their struggle. Empathy means genuine happiness in others' joy and genuine presence in their pain. When you make someone feel they're not alone, trust is born. And where there's trust, that's where the heart of magnetic personality beats. Chapter 15. The Influence of Positive Energy. Have you ever felt that sitting near some people, your mind becomes light? They don't talk much, but there's peace around them. While there are some people with whom you start feeling tired within minutes. They see problems in everything, complain, and make the atmosphere heavy. The difference is less in words and more in energy. Energy isn't visible, but is felt. When you enter a room, people don't just see your clothes or hear your words. They feel your emotional state. If you carry tension, it spreads in the atmosphere. If you're calm and stable, that same peace descends around you. Your presence itself becomes the message. Positive energy doesn't mean smiling all the time. It's not fake enthusiasm. It means, whatever the situation, you remain balanced. You think solutions before complaints. You try to understand before criticizing. You see possibility even in problems. This is maturity, and maturity is attractive. Imagine two colleagues. One complains about work every day. The other, doing the same work, talks about learning and opportunities. Over time, people prefer sitting near the second. The reason is simple. People don't run from difficulties. They run from negativity. We naturally go toward that atmosphere where we feel lightness. To develop positive energy, self-awareness is necessary. Pause a few moments in the day and ask what mental state you're in. Change your word choices. Feel gratitude for small things. Don't suppress emotions. Accept them, but don't stay stuck in them. When you're calm inside, energy is naturally bright. Ultimately, people want to stay with the person whose presence gives comfort. When your energy is balanced and open, you don't need to speak more. Your presence itself becomes attraction. Chapter 16. Social Influence and Authentic Leadership. Imagine a debate is going on in a room. Voices are high. Opinions are different. Then someone says in a calm voice, "We all want the same goal." Let's pause for a moment and think. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes. People start listening. This is social influence. It's born not from position or noise, but from trust and stability. Influence doesn't mean control. It means giving direction. Control creates fear. Influence builds trust. People listen to the one who understands them, gives respect, and remains balanced even in crisis. If you've learned listening, empathy, and appreciation, influence will develop naturally. Even in a team, there's such a person who has no formal position, yet everyone looks toward them. The reason? They don't impose decisions. They suggest paths after listening to everyone. They don't give orders, they give direction. This is the essence of leadership. The foundation of influence is trust, built through time and continuity. Clarity is equally important. Simple and clear words have more impact. Example is the most powerful teacher. If you yourself show discipline and respect, people follow it. Stability gives a sense of safety in crisis time. Humility makes a leader human. When you want to persuade someone, ask questions instead of giving orders. When people are included in decisions, they're more committed. Charisma isn't just attractive personality. It's balance of presence, warmth, and capability. When you're truly present, make people feel safe and appear capable. Influence is naturally born. Remember, influence is power, and power demands responsibility. If people listen to you, your words will determine direction. So make honesty and respect your foundation. Leadership isn't a position, it's a behavior. When you're stable, clear, and sensitive, people choose you themselves. This is the real meaning of influence without pressure. Chapter 17. Building a magnetic personality. Until now, you've learned many skills: smile, body language, art of listening, empathy, confidence, positive energy, and influence. But the real question is, how to combine all these to build a lasting magnetic personality. Because being a people magnet isn't a trick, it's an identity. Many people believe personality is decided at birth. They say, "I'm like this, I'm not very social," or "I'm not built for leadership." But the truth is, personality is built from daily habits. When you listen carefully every day, you become a listening person. When you regularly give respect, you become respected. Small actions together shape your identity. Change happens at 3 levels. First level, behavior changes. You smile, make eye contact, ask questions. Second level, thinking changes. You compare less, increase curiosity. Third level, identity changes. You start seeing yourself as a person who values others. When identity changes, behavior becomes natural and lasting. Authenticity is the foundation of this construction. Fake energy doesn't last long. Continuity builds trust. If your behavior is balanced and stable, people feel comfortable. Self-respect is also necessary. When you accept yourself, your body and energy give that same message. Every night, Ask yourself, who did you truly listen to today and make feel important? This awareness will slowly write a new story inside you. Charisma isn't in noise, it's in presence. When you're with someone, be fully present. In today's time, giving full attention is the real attraction. This journey doesn't change instantly, but with continuous practice, identity changes. You become what you repeat every day. And when your identity becomes stable, respectful, and aware, magnetism appears naturally. Conclusion. So in this entire journey today, you understood that magnetic personality isn't an inborn quality. It starts with a smile, deepens with listening, strengthens with empathy, and becomes stable with confidence. Being a people magnet isn't the art of impressing others. It's the ability to make them feel safe, important, and understood. Remember, change won't happen in one day. But if every day you work on just one small habit, listen to someone carefully, give genuine praise, pay attention to your energy, then in a few months, your identity will start changing. If you found this video useful, like it, subscribe to the channel, comment which one habit you'll start from today. Remember, attraction doesn't come from show-off, it comes from personality.